Hi, I'm Helen Tucker. Welcome to Your Career and You, the podcast. I have over 25 years experience of business and career development, working with individuals to take control of their career and their business, and organizations to get the best from their employees, which is you. So my podcast is all about your career and you. You will have an insight to all of the professionals, consultants, and experts who will share their top tips, advice on how you can take control of your business and your career. Also, I'll have guest speakers who will share their career and their business journey on how they have navigated their way around creating their own jobs and careers. To gain more information, subscribe to my channel and website at the end of my podcast. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome to Your Career and You, the podcast. I'm so excited for you to be on the show. And as you know, it's all about women taking control of their career, looking at top tips, sharing their story. So I'm just going to kick off in terms of asking you if you can share your story, and then we can ask and have a discussion about the questions that you'd like to share.
Wow, thanks so much, Helen. And I'm so happy to be here. So my name's Jasmine and I'm a coactive transitional life coach. And I started my career as a teacher. I started teaching, it must be back in 2003. So yeah, I'm not sure how many years, but 17 years. I can't believe it, 17 years. So I started teaching English language, which led me to live abroad. So I started off in Turkey and then Switzerland and where else? I went to 11 countries. Yeah, so it was And then, so I had a great time learning about cultures and things, which always fascinated me, and I always try to integrate with the culture, I was never, like in Dubai, I feel like my life's a bit different, but when I was in those countries, I really lived with the locals, Anyway, then I came to Dubai 5 years ago and still teaching. And I just thought at that time, I think it was the first time I'd stopped. So I looked back at my life and I thought, do I want to carry on teaching? I knew I didn't want to carry on working and living in different countries. So I thought, what can I do now? So I started thinking about it, and then I met lots of coaches, and then I took that as a sign, and I thought maybe I could explore coaching for myself, to be coached. Maybe that could help me find out what I want to do. So I did some training with Coactive. And then at the end of the course, after like 6 months, I thought, you know what, I actually want to work with clients and have them have the same realizations that I've had on this coaching journey. So then I did my certification, and that's it really, and the rest is history.
I love the way you said that's it really, and it's just a really lovely story in terms of the journey and what you went through and all of the countries that you visited as well, which must have inspired you just to think about, where am I going? What's my life going to be like? So one of the questions I want to ask you is, what's one thing you wish you'd known when you began your career?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I remember reading, what's one thing I wish I'd known? This is going to sound really silly, but the thing that I think about now is how fast that's gone.
Wow.
So, I mean, like those 17 years, I know that you can't say, I wish I'd known that how quickly time goes, but actually that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Because now when I look back, it just seems all like a whirlwind and I can't quite believe I did it, So I know that's what I wish I'd have known. Or just to stop more, because I feel like I lived really fast. I was going from one country to the next, which was amazing in some ways. but I feel like I rushed it maybe as well. So maybe if I could have just slowed down a bit, yeah, stopped and enjoyed it more. I did enjoy it, but maybe I could have enjoyed it even more.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes we do go through life just like a bullet train, and we don't actually stop to think about where we're going, or just to take that time out for ourselves, or even just enjoy the journey. And even though you said you've enjoyed the journey, it's just really interesting when you said, you know, maybe slow down a little bit and just really take it all in, which is good,
Yeah.
One of the questions I'm asking everyone is about looking at the failures, or maybe some of the mistakes. And what I wanted to ask you is, are there any mistakes or failures that you went through and that you've learned from?
I think it's funny because maybe, I mean, I chose different, there was a few countries that I went to which I thought were actually really difficult for me. And I guess at the time I was thinking, this is a mistake, you know, this is so hard. Why am I putting myself through this? Maybe I could have left earlier in some of those countries where I knew, I think you know straight away, don't you? Normally when you arrive in a country, I think your instinct is quite, it's a good thing to follow, isn't it? As soon as you, like every instinct I've had when I've arrived somewhere, it's always been right, you know. If I've liked the place, then I've always had a good time. If I have had a funny feeling, then it's always been. So maybe if I hadn't have stayed in countries so long. But then saying that, it's hard to say, because then I probably wouldn't have met certain people. So if I hadn't have stayed that long. So that's a difficult one, really. I think there's been lots of mistakes on the way. But now I don't see them as mistakes, because I had to learn those things and meet those people, maybe. Yeah.
And we say mistakes and failures, but I always call them a learning journey. You know, just because we do learn from them, and it's all part and parcel of our own development. So as you said, just thinking about whether you should have stayed longer or you shouldn't have. And I like the fact that you said that you reacted to your gut instinct or intuition, which is something that we think we should always tap into. Which
Definitely.
It's
always right, isn't it? It's always right.
Yes. It is.
Wow.
Sometimes we ignore it as well, and then we think, oh, maybe, So what advice would you give someone who is really looking at changing their career, maybe thinking about coaching and not sure how to start? You know, what sort of, given your journey, you've actually explored and traveled. Would somebody have to do that, or would they just do a course?
I think probably if somebody's thinking, I want to change something, I think they should get a coach, work with a coach. They don't have to do like the whole course. I mean, because the courses are quite intense. Maybe they could talk with a coach. You know, I think it's important to have that one-to-one time with somebody. You know, talking to somebody else can help in so many ways, can't it? You know, especially with a coach. So, you know, the coach won't give them the answers. The coach will guide them and ask them the right questions so they can figure it out themselves. So I think I would recommend seeing a coach first, and then maybe and then see what happens. You know, they might want to explore it even further. So then maybe they could take the courses, but there's so many courses as well. So they'd have to decide that. Or they might not need to, they might know, you know, the job that they want to move into, and maybe they would have to study again. I think talking to somebody, a professional, I think a coach.
No, that's really good advice. And one of the things I wanted to lead on to is some of the resources that may have helped you along your journey that could help someone else as well. So could you share what resources you had to help you decide on deciding your career in terms of becoming a coach?
Yeah, well, I guess with me, it was actually the coaches themselves. For me, I think because I was thinking about that, and I think when I look back now, and still now, the things that help me the most are like people, having the right people around you. You know, it can just be one, you know, if you're having a bad day or you're feeling lost or something, just talking to somebody who genuinely cares. I think that is the most important thing, you know, and like the group that you have, I mean, community. I think community is key, to have that support network, you know, and it doesn't, you don't, I mean, a community is great, but even just one person just to talk to. I mean, of course, there are resources and materials and techniques that I learned through the coaching, but it wouldn't have been anything if there wasn't a person there as well to help me, to show me and do it with me and explain and everything, you know. For me, I think it's about people. Yeah, definitely people. And I was thinking about that today, actually, you know, especially with COVID, when maybe I haven't been with people so much. And then you realize how important it is, just one person just to talk to and say, hi, how are you doing today? Good morning. You know, it's like those tiny things can really mean a lot. Yeah. Brainstorming with people as well.
It makes a difference, doesn't it? When you mentioned, which I love, it's the community, the collaboration, identifying people who can actually support you, which is key. Because I think now with the changes, the pandemic, I think we all have to have that mind shift to really think about, well, actually, what do I want? Who can I go to? What resources are there out there? And there's so much resources. It's just finding your way through that, especially on the internet as well.
Exactly. You just get overwhelmed when I mean, there's too much choice. And for me, when there's too many things, then I just can't do anything, sort of thing. But yeah, having someone to talk through it with, or someone who's got more experience in that area who can guide you, people, yeah, helping each other. And I think like with your community, it is, you know, everyone's got something to bring, haven't they?
Yeah. Tell me about your experience in Dubai. How are you actually delivering your sessions? Who are the type of clients that you have?
Yeah, type of clients. So I guess I've got like there's 4 ideal clients, but maybe that sounds too many. But I guess because I was teaching for so long, one of my ideal clients is students. So maybe students who are leaving high school and going to university, but they're not sure what to study. They're feeling confused, maybe pressure from their family. And then also university students who are finishing university and going into the job market. So maybe they don't know, maybe they've studied something, but they're not happy with that anymore, and they don't want to have a career in that field. So I can work with them to figure out, you know, what they really want to do. So that's like one kind of ideal client. And then my next one is professionals who look like they have it all. So maybe they have a great job, you know, the family life. On the outside, everything looks great, but inside they're feeling very unfulfilled. And you know, they've got a high pressure job, they're unfulfilled, so they want to change something, but they're not sure what. Maybe it's their job. That's one kind. And then the other type of client is the client who's had a change in their life, planned or unplanned, and they're not sure of the next steps. There's one who's ready for the change but not sure what, and one who's had the change. Could be a natural transition or something that's been forced upon them, and they're not sure of the next steps, if that makes sense.
Yes, yeah. So you've got quite distinctive clients, which is fantastic. So you're helping each one to identify their own potential, what they can do, how they can actually navigate their way around career development or changing jobs, which is fantastic. So what are you proud of in your own life?
What am I proud of? What am I proud of? Well, I am proud. What am I proud of? I'm proud of just like not giving up, because and that sounds really, not giving up. Yeah, just like I do work hard, and I am proud of that. But actually, now I'm realizing that sometimes it's, like I said, it is better to slow down and maybe not work as hard. And then they say, don't they, you sometimes slowing down, you speed things up.
Yeah.
This is what I'm kind of realizing now. So even though I have worked hard, working smart. I'm proud of working hard, but now I want to work smart.
I like that phrase, slowing down, which speeds things up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think actually it's really true.
Yeah.
Like I used to always think, if I work really, really, really hard, so I'm exhausted, then I'd feel good at the end of the day because, like, okay, I've done something. It's only now I'm starting to think, no, that it doesn't mean that. Actually, you don't have to work like that, and it doesn't mean you're productive. Yeah.
And I guess you're enjoying the whole process as well, and taking in more, and you see more.
Exactly. Yeah. Slowing down, good and bad, because then you have to face things as well. Whereas if you're running around, you're distracted with everything, aren't you? And you don't have to answer the questions maybe that you ask yourself. You can just ignore them, which is not good actually, because they always come back. You can't run away, can you?
Right.
So yeah, it's difficult. I guess it's whatever you do, it will be difficult. Life's never going to be easy, is it? But yeah, I think slowing down.
Okay. And my last question is, what does taking control of your career mean to you?
Taking control of my career, that means being the coach that I really want to be. Of course, like there's a method to it, but I think once I really take control of it, then I will do it. It'll be my way, from my experiences as well. More of me will come into it, I would say.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. I'm so pleased that you've shared real key points about how someone can take control, looking at changing their careers, and also how you can help someone in terms of their own career development. So how can people get in contact with you?
Oh, great. Yes. They can just email, go to my website at www.withnava.com.
Okay.
And my Instagram is with Nava. Everything's with Nava. So
brilliant. What I will do is to share the information about how to contact you on the podcast and the YouTube. But thank you so much, Jasmine. You've been excellent. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks so much, Helen. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.